Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to King Arena on the campus of Wheaton College for tonight's CCIW contest between the Vikings of Augustana College and your Wheaton College Thunder. At this time, we'd ask everyone to please rise for the playing of our national anthem. Here are the starting lineups for tonight's game. First, for the visiting Augustana College Vikings. Number 12, a 5'8" freshman from Silvis, Illinois, Audrey Erickson. A 5'3" junior from Moline, Illinois, number 13, Cadence Tatum. Number 21, a 6'3" junior from St. Charles, Illinois, St. Charles East High School, Callie Papez. Number 24, 5'7" senior from Antioch, Illinois, Emma Berg. And a 5'8" sophomore from Moline, Illinois, number 30, Paige Melton. The Vikings are coached by Mark Beinborn, assisted by Markeisha Harris-Poso, Eric Rowell, and Abby Staples. Here are the starters for your Wheaton College Thunder. Number 5, a 5'4" junior from Lone Tree, Colorado, Alyssa Faborowski. Number 22, a 5'9" sophomore from New Orleans, Louisiana, Petra Trumbach. Number 24, a 5'10" junior from Falls Church, Virginia, Kate Oliver. A 5'11" senior from Northfield, Minnesota, number 25, Annika Richardson. And a 5'9" junior from Pekin, Illinois, number 30, Grace Kaiser. Wheaton is coached by Kent Madsen, assisted by Joanna Gutkowski, Laura Egan, and Kirsten Madsen. Our officials tonight, Joseph Foster, Travis Thomas, and Charles Thomas.
And alongside Acadia Fitzpatrick, I'm Aiden Kong, subbing in for Marin Davis. And Acadia, what are you looking forward to in tonight's match?
I am absolutely ecstatic to see what the Wheaton Thunder and the Augustana Vikings have in store for us tonight. We have two teams coming off of losses, and I am curious to see who can get their momentum started here.
Of course, a crucial matchup in the right of the CCIW. Wheaton currently 5th. They would currently make the CCIW tournament if it were to end today and play against Millikan. Augustana trying to claw back in, though. They're only a game back of Wheaton. That's the crazy part of the CCIW slate. Kate Oliver Papa is in the center for both teams, and let's roll from King Arena. Augustana comes into this game 9-13, 5-8. They just lost to Millikan. Of course, this is a makeup game. Should have been played on Wednesday night, but because of the storm, rescheduled to 5:30 this evening. Here comes a three right away, but it's no good, and the rebound gathered in by Augustana. And the Berg there on that attempt.
Now, the last meeting between these two teams, we had Faborowski start off with a quick three for the Wheaton Thunder.
There's Audrey Erickson, able to bang that one in for the Vikings. Wheaton got the win last time against Augustana, looking for the season sweep.
The Wheaton Thunder coming into that last game absolutely started off strong with Alyssa Fabrikowski nailing a three-point shot, followed up by her jumper on the next possession. Now, I'm curious, Aiden, to see what that looks like tonight if that momentum gets started for the Thunder.
Meanwhile, Wheaton comes into this game 11-10, 6-6 overall in CCIW play. There's another three there by Berg, able to bury it. Emma Berg, the senior, Antioch, Illinois, drains the triple. Annika Richardson to respond, off the mark.
Now, we've really seen an excellent season from Annika Richardson, nearly all across the board. However, during Augustana, we saw her put up one of her lowest point totals. We saw Kate Oliver step up into that leading scorer role, and I'm curious to see how that also plays out tonight.
Looks like an early turnover there for Augustana. And they're going to call an illegal screen set by the Thunder to leave Annika Richardson, and so back-to-back turnovers from both teams.
The name of this game very often comes down to turnovers. So if we cannot see either team start to hold on to those possessions for longer and take more shots, it is not only going to be a very low-scoring game, but it's going to be hard to work up that momentum for either side.
Another skyhook right there. Kaylee Pappas again finishes. Pappas Jr. of St. Charles, Illinois, already 7-0 in favor of the Vikings. Richardson for three. That one again, no good. Another nice backdoor cut. Candace Tatum too strong though.
Pacing definitely seems to be a part of this game. In the last meet between these two teams, we saw Wheaton really control the ball in that first quarter, and then stepping into the second is where we saw Augustana start to get their own rhythm. But this game seems to be starting off to a very different beat. What are you seeing?
Well, so far Wheaton still looking for their first field goal of the game. On the shot clock, here's another three. Emma Berg, you bet. And that's going to force an early timeout. 10-0 in favor of the Vikings. Let's go back to the replay.
That's just a beautiful shot there. When you have your feet set like that, it is hard to block a shot or even contest it, and that is definitely something we're going to see more of tonight if Wheaton is not forcing more difficult shots.
Of course, Wheaton entering with Coach Madsen, fastest coach to reach 150 wins. Honestly, a lot of good coaches within the CCIW, and Coach Madsen, one of those people.
Absolutely. The Thunder have started off extremely cold here.
And if Wheaton is going to get back to this game, what must they do to sort of gain some rhythm?
I think taking shots, getting into the paint. We're seeing a lot of very quick turnovers from the Wheaton Thunder right now. Augustana is able to hold on to that possession for a little longer, and if the Thunder cannot return with the same amount of control, it is going to be a very difficult and very long game.
And meanwhile, what do you like about the Vikings so far, up 10-0 early?
They are setting the pace. They are absolutely extremely quick to get back, and they are ready to step onto that court. We're seeing them really control the game here, taking those hard shots and continually trying out Wheaton Thunder's defense. And if they cannot step up, again, it's going to be a long game.
Again, this is a makeup game from Wednesday. You actually had some games within the CCIWB played on Tuesday because of the storm. Although the men's team was able to travel all the way down to Decatur and take on Milliken Wednesday night. These teams only separated by a game back within the CCIW, even though Augustana is technically second to last. Inside yet again for Kaiser, and it is taken away almost by Tatum. They're likely going to call a jump ball on this, and they will.
No, those are really the plays that the Wheaton Thunder have to win. If they are not able to get possession of that ball and then maintain it and come up with some score, then it is going to exhaust them.
Wheaton retains possession, though. Set up a DHO. Here is now Alyssa Faborowski. Faborowski finds Kaiser, 8 on the shot clock. 3 to shoot for Richardson. Finds Faborowski for 3. Bounces out, though.
No, and that was beautiful play by Wheaton. We just didn't see the shot fall.
And it looks like they're going to get a foul inside.
Those turnovers are really going to end up costing Wheaton. And down on the other end of the field where they're able to maintain possession is one thing, but if we're going to turn Augustana over to the free-point line, that's going to be an issue.
So Kaylee Pappas to the free throw line for the Vikings. St. Charles, Missouri.
Yeah, Pappas is a 75% free throw shooter. And seeing that...
The rebound, another foul right there. Give credit to Paige Melton on the offensive board.
Seeing that competitiveness on a missed shot is really something that's going to differentiate Augustana in this game. Catching the Wheaton Thunder on their heels is definitely a position that Augustana wants to maintain.
So Melton, second leading scorer on the team, averaging about 10.6 points per game, along with 4.3 rebounds. Sophomore out of Moline, Illinois. Able to knock down the second free throw. 13-0 in favor of the Vikings. Petra Trumbach, by the way, making her second start, starting the first game against Mount St. Joseph and also started against North Park. Oliver gets double team and it's taken away. Audrey Erickson able to score and a foul.
Right now, I think we're seeing a bit of the Wheaton Thunder struggling to get back on a quick breakaway like that. You cannot afford to foul. Unfortunately, playing smart is absolutely part of this game, and fouling on a quick breakaway shot like that is going to cost Wheaton even more points.
Erickson averaging nearly 9 points a night, able to complete the three-point play, and this is crazy because she's only a freshman and already seeing playing time. In fact, that started in 3/4 of her games this season. Wheaton still looking for their first points of any kind. Nearly midway through this first quarter, Oliver being hounded there. Now here's Jenna Hunter before being taken away by Candace Tatum. Tatum, one-on-one fast break against Faborowski. Misses though, and Trumbach gathers in the defensive rebound. And the ball's still loose. Candace Tatum put a fight for it, but Wheaton able to get across that timeline. Oliver again, and they're going to call a foul. Although Augustana wants to travel.
Looking again here at the replay, we can see we have Kate Oliver just crashing that paint and traffic being heavy. This will send her to the free throw line, and I'm curious to see if Wheaton can start putting up points right here.
Lily Cato will check in for the first time for Petra Trumbach. Of course, Cato has started in slightly more games than Petra. Of course, the narrative going for the Wheaton Thunder is the fact that you have these two players, Kate Oliver and Annika Richardson, who lead the team. You look at the scoring averages. Kate Oliver averages nearly 15 points a night. Annika Richardson also averages nearly 15 points a night. But there are other role players for the Wheaton Thunder that are just as important for this team.
Absolutely. Looking at Alyssa Faborowski and Lily Cadeau, as well as Alexis Martin, we saw in last game all of those ladies stepping up and really making a difference as Richardson seemed to struggle a bit more with Augustana.
I believe they're going to call the foul against Lily Cato on that loose ball right there. Augustana still retains possession. Erickson against Oliver, somehow greases the cylinder. How about that?
Now we are seeing highly contested shots for Augustana as well as those quick breakaways. And then very, very costly mistakes here down on the offensive side for the Wheaton Thunder.
It looks like Lily Cato was trying to throw it to Kate Oliver, but Oliver was thinking about cutting it inside.
Those types of miscommunications are really what is going to add up for the Wheaton Thunder right here.
It is 18-2. There's an air ball right there. Augustana still has possession, though. Shot clock is not reset. Lopez, and they're going to get her for a travel.
Wheaton is going to have to take every single opportunity they see of Augustana's mistakes right now. Only with 2 on the board to Augustana's 18.
Only points so far has come by Kate Oliver from the free throw line. Wheaton's 0 of 5 to begin things. Meanwhile, Augustana 6 of 10 from the field. With Erickson leading the way, she has 7 points.
Finding some momentum to finish up this first quarter is going to help the Wheaton Thunder out for the rest of this game. They just can't seem to catch a break currently.
Out of bounds again, it will go back to the Vikings. Wheaton still technically looking for their first field goal of the night.
We're seeing Augustana really control that ball here.
Melton again draws a foul in the post, and that will likely send Paige Melton to the free throw line.
Now we love to see contested shots, but unfortunately ending in a foul and again sending Augustana to the free throw line is not going to help the Thunder out here tonight.
Melton, 80% free throw shooter, as Augustana has also entered the bonus with the 5th foul being issued against the Thunder.
While you prefer to send no one to the line, Melton is most definitely not someone you want at that point.
It's 22 right now in favor of Augustana. Kaiser back to Faborowski. Under 3 minutes now left to play. Faborowski sky high off the mark.
We see the Wheaton Thunder scrambling back here, and I'm really thinking that they just need to have a bit more control over each possession.
And are they going to get first travel? They will.
Forcing those mistakes and those turnovers is absolutely essential for this game. We're seeing Augustana making nearly every shot, and unless the Thunder can catch a break on any front, it is going to continue to be a difficult game.
It's only the 4th turnover. In fact, both teams have turned it over 4 times. As Candace Tatum will check back in for Audrey Erickson. Faborowski with a nice screen from Jenna Hunter. Pounces out yet again. Hunter offensive rebound, and she's fouled inside.
Finding those rebounds is absolutely essential. We see in the last game with Wheaton versus Carroll, Richardson was the one making those rebounds. We see Hunter attempting right there and being able to draw the foul.
Jenna Hunter, 79% from the free throw line so far this season. And started in 7 games. Really a good defensive anchor for the Thunder.
Absolutely. Her physicality in the paint is essential to the Wheaton Thunder's defense. Having her on the court, especially against a team that does have at least 2 players above the 6-foot mark, is an asset for the Wheaton Thunder.
Here's Lexi Haynes scoring for the Vikings. Technically her first field goal. It's now 22-3.
Now this is an absolute uphill battle for the Wheaton Thunder. And seeing this possession right here, Wheaton Thunder needs to get the ball in and score and start to shift that momentum.
Cato, she was trying to shoot it. But believe it or not, it looks like it a jump ball on that.
We're seeing that attempted pass from Cato back to Kaiser, and it ends with an Augustana possession. Again, another costly turnover for the Wheaton Thunder.
Vikings 7 of 12 from the field at 58%. Wheaton again still looking for their first field goal of this night.
We're seeing Augustana making their passes, controlling the ball, really taking advantage of every moment that they have possession.
Once again, it is Candace Tatum. How about her? That's technically also her first field goal. I mean, you give a lot of attention to Audrey Erickson, and rightfully so, but Candace Tatum, another good player for the Vikings.
We're seeing some good passing here from the Wheaton Thunder and driving into that paint, which is what we were going to need to see.
Cato gets a clean look, and the first field goal at last for Wheaton. They were previously 0 of 8. Hayes being guarded tightly there by Lily Cato. Under a minute now left to play, and they're going to get Candace Tatum on a travel.
Forcing those turnovers and starting to shift that momentum. That's what Wheaton needs to see right here, right now.
Only the 4th turnover now for the Vikings. Oliver steps into a 3. Rings out though, but Kaiser able to get the offensive rebound. Kaiser will now try. Boom goes the dynamite.
An excellent shot by Kaiser. Getting her started is going to be extremely crucial for the Thunder to start overcoming this rather large deficit.
Vikings will still have possession. About 36.8 seconds left to go.
Wheaton Thunder being able to regain possession on this is going to allow them to have a bit of momentum coming out of this first quarter. If they can't, Augustana's going to continue to grow that lead.
Lewis inside. Tina Lewis bangs it in. Thunder, though, can hold for the last shot. They're down by 18 points. Oliver, 5 to shoot. One more pass. It's now Lily Cato. Just has to put up the shot. Too strong, though. Jenna Hunter does not get it off in time, although the crowd wants a foul. But no foul is called. Let's check the replay and see if the crowd has a case.
We see Cato making that jumper, and then we have Jenna Hunter going for that rebound. And there is contact on that play. The question for me is just if it was before or after that play clock expired.
So it's 26-8, as we said before. And what have you liked so far from the Vikings again?
We've seen the Vikings really set the pace. They're maintaining control. They have possession. They're taking the shots they want to take.
Now, obviously, you talked about Annika Richardson. I mean, her brother, Soren Richardson, is right there. If Tim Martin was here, he would argue that this is the best brother-sister duo potentially in all of Wheaton, but also the rest of the CCIW. And Annika Richardson, so far, perhaps having her best season yet.
Absolutely. We've seen very, very strong contention from both of the Richardson siblings. What we haven't seen much of tonight is Annika Richardson in this particular game.
Of course, Annika Richardson has not scored yet, but 2-time CCIW Student Athlete of the Week so far this year, along with 10 career double-doubles, I believe. But still, an impressive career. Got over the 1,000-point mark against Carroll the first time she played the Pioneers. Perhaps one of the better players within the century.
Absolutely. It's ridiculously impressive, and hopefully some of that exceptionalism can come out on the court tonight for the Wheaton Thunder.
Of course, Annika Richardson looking to get into the top 10 all-time scoring in Wheaton program history within these next couple of weeks. But also, that being said, the CCIW tournament's not too far away.
Absolutely.
What do you think, knowing that and knowing how much little gap there is between Wheaton, who's in 5th place, and Augustana, who's in 8th place, what do you think both coaches are telling their teams?
Win. I think it boils down to you need this win right here to prove that you have earned that spot within the CCIW against an opponent that is right within that same area.
And there's another foul inside, likely going to go against Grace Kaiser. Let's check the replay.
We see Kaiser stepping out, providing pressure and a call, and I believe that is on Kaiser, and gives possession back to Augustana.
Of course, Coach Feinborn, Coach Madsen, very experienced head coaches. Coach Madsen and his crew made to the CCIW tournament 2 seasons ago. Melton now 5 on the shot clock for Erickson. Erickson looks like her shot got blocked though.
Seeing Wheaton with possession here, you have Annika Richardson back on the court. How Augustana was really able to keep her down to a limited point total in the last game came down to switching up who was defending her. Yeah, coming back into that replay, we see Jenna Hunter go for the ball, and it is knocked out of bounds by Augustana.
They'll call the foul against Callie Papez. Oliver using the screen from Jenna Hunter, thought about the 3, tries to feed inside to Hunter, but it's taken away.
We're seeing another costly turnover here for the Wheaton Thunder, depending on how their defense can shape up against this hard pressing offense.
Melton again fights, scores.
We're really seeing Augustana just crash that paint, and Wheaton doesn't seem to have an answer right now.
It is 28-8. Not the largest lead the Vikings have had. They once had a 21-point lead when they were up 24-3. And they're going to get Petra Trumbach on a travel right there. Another turnover for Wheaton. That's now their 7th.
7 turnovers within a very short amount of time.
Again, poked out of bounds. Stays with the Vikings, though.
Seeing Kate Oliver fight for that ball is really going to be something that could shift the momentum for the Thunder. We're going to need to see Thunder step up with some grit right here.
Papez guarded tightly again. Nice feed to Tatum. No foul, though.
That was well defended on Wheaton Thunder's part.
Oliver tries to get it back to Grace Kaiser. Ball is still on the ground before Cato able to pick it up.
We're potentially seeing an injury there for number 13 on Augustana.
That would be Candace Tatum, who's guarding Kaiser. 4 on the shot clock now. Cato puts up the mid-range J, and again, it refuses to fall in.
That's a rebound that we really need to see Wheaton try and pick up here.
Erickson, and now they're going to get the foul as you had Papez trying to drive in that paint.
Looking at the replay here, we see Papez taking it in and Richardson stepping forward towards the basket. And Papez is going to get that call every time.
It's not often you get players within women's basketball above 6 foot, but look at this. Papez is 6'3".
That height is absolutely a factor in this game. Seeing her up against Annika Richardson and Jenna Hunter is really going to be where the Thunder have to fight hard.
Nice steal right there by Lily Cato, only the 6th turnover for Augustana. Wheaton scoreless in nearly 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Oliver, 14 on the shot clock, under 7 minutes now left to go. Throws it inside, and instead it is taken away.
The Wheaton Thunder are not having any shots fall here, and that deficit is getting larger and larger.
Hayes leaves her shot short. Babarowski is going to let it trickle out of bounds, and it will be Wheaton ball. Couple of substitutions as Alexis Martin will check back in for Jenna Hunter.
Another thing about having as many turnovers as we've seen in this game is the level of exhaustion. Having to hustle back to play defense is absolutely going to wear out any team.
Sierra Hall, I believe, also just checked in for the Vikings. Freshman out of Illinois. Cato steps back for three. Can't hit though. And Martin trying to fight for the rebound alongside with Erickson. I believe they're going to call it Vikings ball if I'm not mistaken. And how about this? Lauren Ham will check in for Wheaton.
Now Lauren Ham is an absolutely outstanding basketball player. Her high school career is one that is extremely notable. I'm curious to see how she can help the Thunder here.
13 points against North Park. The first time she played the Vikings. Pez against Kaiser leaves her shot short though.
Now that was a curious matchup right there. Circling back to Pappas' height at 6'3", we have her against the 5'9" Grace Kaiser.
Okay, Oliver cannot connect. Ball still on the ground, a scuffle for it, and another jump ball. And this time it'll be Thunder possession.
Now we're seeing a lot more of that competition for those balls. We're seeing so many attempts by the Wheaton Thunder to regain control of this game.
Of course, Augustana had a pretty hot first quarter, not too much here in the second. Only 1 of 5 from the field compared to being 9 of 14. But Wheaton, they're 0 of 4 to begin this game, rather the second quarter.
Again, I've referenced that momentum needing to shift, and right here on this possession, you're looking at almost halfway through the second quarter, and there is a 20-point deficit on the board.
But if you are Coach Matson and the Wheaton Thunder, are you worried that you are down by 20 points?
Absolutely. I think looking at this game, we're not seeing the Wheaton Thunder find their own pace. That was absolutely a determining factor.
There is Grace Kaiser able to bury that triple for Wheaton, much needed. That's now the third field goal made by the Thunder in the first half.
Those are the types of shots that Wheaton Thunder is really going to come to depend on in this game.
Lewis has it now back inside of Melton, and she's going to be whacked in a foul, likely going to go against Alexis Martin.
Again, sending Melton to that free-point line. We see Alexis Martin here on the back of Melton and just reaching in just that little too much.
Team foul number 3 issued against the Thunder. Dolly Smith to side out it. Hayes, and they're getting her for a travel. And it seems like the Vikings in the last couple of possessions, including the first quarter, have been called for that travel.
Yes, we're seeing a lot of those turnovers, and if Wheaton can force more and more turnovers from Augustana, again giving them that ball possession back, Wheaton needs to have that time and be able to follow it up with shots.
And as a coach, what do you typically tell your team in order to be not called for that travel?
Yeah, avoiding the travel is really about being aware of where the other teammates are on the court, being able to recognize when you have stopped with dribbling, and being able to make confident passes.
They believe Vernesay went off an Augustana player. That's why Wheaton still has possession, albeit 7 on the shot clock. Be Lauren Ham to inbound. Ham has not really played in that many games, but Coach Matson really high of her. 2 on the shot clock now for Oliver. And Oliver, does she get the shot off in time? No. Regardless, it did not touch the rim at all, so that's going to be a shot clock violation.
That's a turnover that the Thunder are really not going to be happy about seeing right there. That was another opportunity.
That's now 9 turnovers for Wheaton here in half number 1. 4:40 now left to go before the intermission. Vikings up 28-11. It's a 17-point lead. Smith picked up by Ham. Berg will now fire. Emma Berg unable to score.
That was good pressure there provided by the Wheaton Thunder defense.
Augustana only 2 of 6 from the 3-point line. Here's Alexis Martin, just rattles out though. Wheaton, meanwhile, 2 of 9 from downtown. Berg will fire, top of the key, air balls it though.
Seeing an air ball like that is absolutely something that can take the wind out of your sails. But seeing Wheaton here kind of regrouping with a timeout.
So 3:55 left to go before halftime. Acadia, what do you think Coach Madsen is telling his team in the huddle?
I think Coach Madsen is really going to be talking about the pace that Wheaton needs to be setting. Right now we see Augustana getting possession of the ball, working that shot clock down, taking as much time as they feel comfortable because they are not feeling the pressure that the Wheaton Thunder need to provide.
Of course, with the final nearly 4 minutes of this basketball game, Augustana could easily just go and drift away. But if they're going to retain their focus, what does Augustana have to do in order to maintain their focus going to the final 4 minutes, essentially?
Right now, Augustana really has had the turnovers in their favor, and maintaining that, keeping up the high traffic in the paint. We have not seen the Thunder be successful when they're driving that ball. They have not been sending our Wheaton Thunder to the foul line and continuing to take the three-point shots that we've seen from the likes of Berg and Melton, as well as driving in the paint from Papez. That's really what Augustana is going to need to maintain into this.
Erickson still the leading scorer for the Vikings. She has 7 points. Meanwhile, for Wheaton, it's Grace Kaiser who has 6. But, there's only 4 players for the Thunder who have scored points of any kind. That would be Cato, Oliver, Kaiser, and Jenna Hunter.
Seeing Grace Kaiser having 6 of those points, we're absolutely going to need to see Faborowski, Oliver, Richardson step up in this next few minutes as well as the second half.
Wheaton is 3 of 18 from the field in this first half, 17%. Martin back to Faborowski. 3:35 now left to go before halftime. Oliver dices, Kate Oliver. Too much sauce on it, out of bounds, and it'll be Wheaton ball with a fresh 20 seconds.
Now we can see Kate Oliver bringing it into the paint, going up for the layup and being absolutely challenged, and then we have it batted out of bounds by Augustana.
Faborowski to trigger it for the Thunder. 45 cut, Oliver inside. Kate Oliver misses though.
Seeing those contested shots in the paint, in most games you're going to see a lot more of those falling. For the Wheaton Thunder, it just seems to be a stroke of bad luck.
Ollie Smith again. Lewis misses though. Wide open for 3. Erickson trims out though. And Ollie Smith could not gather in the 3rd offensive rebound on that trip.
Now we see the defensive rebound right there by Kate Oliver, and watching the Thunder come down the court.
Kaiser unable to hit. For both teams right now, Augustana has not scored in nearly 6 minutes. Wheaton has not scored in nearly 3 minutes. So it's a bit on a drought right now, Acadia.
Absolutely. Seeing the drought here for both teams, I think, is just a testament to the tiredness of what is happening with a game that is being played with such grit.
I believe they're going to still give possession to the Vikings. 2:34 now left to go before halftime.
I expect to see a rather quick shot here from the Augustana Vikings.
Nine on the shot clock for Tia Lewis. Lewis rims out though. Another rebound for Erickson. In the low post, guarded by Kate Oliver. Berg unable to hit yet again. Another offensive rebound by Smith.
These offensive rebounds are absolutely adding up for Augustana right now. And seeing Wheaton Thunder get more and more tired and not seeing shots from Augustana, but just continued passing and continued offensive rebounds.
Erickson, and she turns it over. So the Thunder able to hold despite all those offensive boards being gathered in by the Vikings. Oliver for 3, and she doesn't get it to go. I'm not sure if she was contacted with a foul. Regardless, Wheaton still has possession. Kaiser under 90 seconds now left to go. Faborowski able to bury it. We're going to call that a long 2 though for Alyssa Faborowski, not a 3.
It's good to see those 2 points fall for Wheaton Thunder. However, disappointing to see it just be a 2 there.
First field goal for Alyssa Fabrowski, previously 0 of 5 from the field. Eight on the shot clock, under 60 seconds to play. Smith inside to Lewis. Tia Lewis gathers 2 defenders, and now able to finish though for Bird. And the Thunder able to hold on defense. Kaiser, and the Thunder likely going to screech to a halt. Fabrowski, and she draws the foul, tumbles hard to the floor, and likely will go to the line.
Being able to draw those fouls is going to become a larger and larger part of this game when the Wheaton Thunder are not making their shots.
Pepez as well as Tatum will check back in. Cattle's also in for Alexis Martin. Alyssa Fabrowski now to the free throw line. Look at her season average, really, has really stepped out for the Thunder, especially this season.
Fabrowski is absolutely an exceptional player. Actually seeing her against Augustana the last time these two teams met, she put up an excellent game.
In fact, one of 3 players for the Thunder who have started in all 21 games, and I guess if you want to include this one, 22 games. The other, of course, being Kate Oliver as well as Annika Richardson. Coach Matson's talked about playing with that starting combination. We've seen Lily Catto, the starting lineup. Jenna Hunter has started. Alexis Martin has also started for the Thunder. And, of course, we've seen Petra Trombach making her third start of the season. As Trombach previously started against Mount St. Joseph and North Park. Meanwhile, Augustana is going to retain possession. 25.4 seconds to go, 19 on the shot clock. Lewis almost didn't have it stripped there. Lewis, thought about that 3. Erickson lost the ball, and it's going to be Thunder ball.
Having this last possession here is absolutely something that the Thunder can build off of. If they're able to go down and get a shot off here, it could set momentum going into that halftime.
And for the Vikings, they have not scored in nearly 8 minutes and 30 seconds. And within that span, Wheaton's only on a 7-0 run. Interesting how you want to look at that if you're the audience back home. Here's Kate Oliver for 3. Airballs it though. And Smith is not going to go off the final shots before the break. So the lead, which was once 21 points in the first quarter with 1:35 left to go, has been cut down to 13. Acadia, what are your thoughts going into halftime?
Going into halftime, if I'm Coach Madsen, I am absolutely telling the girls to keep up the defense and continue taking shots. I think Wheaton Thunder needs to continue crashing the paint and drawing those fouls, as well as just taking more and more shots. We see a lot of sloppy ball play when they're getting down in the offensive side of the court. Limiting those turnovers is going to be a key factor going into the second half.
Erickson leading the way for the Vikings. She has 7 points. Grace Kaiser, she has 6, and we'll bring you the start of the second half after these messages and a word from the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network.
I would say be bold. There's a lot of people here on campus who want to enter into a relationship with you. So many programs and things to get involved with, but get involved and be bold in that. And also just be unashamed of who you are. Wheaton, there is no perfect Wheaton student. Rather, we're just a bunch of broken, sinful people who are just in pursuit of a perfect God. orientation committee, and then also, of course, transfer orientation committee if you're a transfer. These are people who have been praying for you and are making so many invitations to enter into a relationship with you in that first month being at campus. So I would just say respond to those invitations, and that goes for OC members as well as the faculty and staff that surround them. I'd say the biggest challenge was how lonely it was. When you first step onto campus, you don't have all the friends that you're gonna have. And so it took time to just learn how to make friends again. One of the best pieces of advice I had was to introduce myself to my professors as a transfer, and I was surprised just by how many emails I had from professors just making themselves known. So this is a campus where you're so known and loved.
Welcome to the Armerding Center for Music and the Arts at Wheaton College. This beautiful new facility located in the center of our campus is a testament to artistic potential of every person, each one with imagination, creativity, and artistic impulse in the image of God. Home to the Wheaton College Conservatory of Music and Community School of the Arts, this space is not just a building. It's a virtual symphony of possibilities. Designed with acoustical excellence in every room, the Armerding Center is a haven for music study and performance. The Armerding Center hosts vibrant performance spaces, including the recital and concert halls, where the music comes to life again and again. These spaces host performance, worship, and study at Wheaton, in which every note, every melody resonates with a higher purpose, creating immersive experiences which transcend the sounds themselves. These venues, together with the Grand Edmund Chapel, provide opportunities to experience the sacred truths of music and the God who initiated music in the first place. Step into this thriving hub of creativity and community. Every week, the Armerding Center pulsates with energy, offering a kaleidoscope of events, faculty and student recitals, ensemble concerts, visiting artist performances, and masterclasses. But amidst the excitement, there is deep focus. Our state-of-the-art practice rooms, classrooms, and performance spaces are not just physical structures, but evidence of the college's commitment to acoustic engineering and aesthetic beauty. Over 40 practice rooms, a choral rehearsal room, and numerous classrooms underscore our dedication to the arts and the artists. Our students and faculty now revel in spaces with proper climate control, sound isolation, and ample storage. No longer scattered across 6 different buildings, the Conservatory of Music has found its unified home, a building named in honor of the esteemed Hudson T. Armerding, class of '41, former president of Wheaton College. We are delighted to share with you the Armerding Center. This space supports, encourages, and creates new pathways for artistic engagement. The building is much more than bricks and mortar. It is a symbol of the college's enduring commitment to excellence and the thriving creative community that calls it home. We are eager to share this magnificent building with you, our students, faculty, and our community for generations to come. The Armerding Center for Music and the Arts provides endless artistic possibilities for the enduring power of music to inspire, uplift, and unite us all.
things about deciding where to go to college is that all of your peers are in kind of the same place. Remember, other people have done this, other people have gone before me and will come after me and are going through it with me now. It's not as isolating as it may feel. I didn't really know what I was looking for at first. It started with me just scrolling through website after website of colleges. I knew I wanted something that was medium-sized. I knew that I wanted a strong natural sciences department. I knew that I wanted to be challenged academically inside the classroom, but I also didn't want life to stop in the classroom. I'm grateful that I was able to visit as many schools as I did. A large part of my decision to attend Wheaton was influenced by my campus visit. What instantly stood out to me was that everyone on campus was smiling. I felt welcomed, I felt appreciated, seen, and wanted. And so the application process itself was really joy-filled. The decision process was quite a different story. I got the decisions and acceptances and rejections back, and rejections stung. I became very stressed. I started to question, do I want to keep going to school? Do I want to go far? Do I want to come closer to home? And that's where I really started to ask, okay, what are the options remaining before me? And Wheaton was again at the top. I started to work with Ellen, my admissions counselor. I just worked with her really closely and had several hour-long phone calls, just talking through what does a Wheaton education look like? What is the value of a Wheaton education? And got to have personal conversations and interactions. So even during a time that was really stressful, I felt valued and seen as a whole person rather than just a GPA and test scores.
What does it mean to truly be a community for Christ and his kingdom?
Human communities throughout the centuries have made agreements with one another on how they are going to live.
Faith should not be compartmentalized. It should shape and enrich every aspect of life.
People are coming here to be shaped and formed for life.
All three of these statements, the statement of faith, the community covenant, the diversity commitment, are really ways of fleshing out our nice, succinct model for Christ and his kingdom.
These commitments make Wheaton a place of depth and layers.
Faculty, staff, and students, we all try to follow Christ.
It's a place that really develops the heart, mind, body, and soul.
And it's not about rules, it's about how we show love to one another.
They're not meant to just be these words on a page that sound really good to say, but honestly, like, help us to try to live out those things daily. I see it as like an attempt to marry what we do and what we say.
The mission of Wheaton College is to serve Jesus Christ and advance his kingdom through excellence in liberal arts education. That mission is empowered by the enduring commitments that we make and keep. Our statement of faith, that's what we believe, our commitment to biblical evangelical orthodoxy. Our community covenant, those are promises we make to one another and to God about the way we're going to live in Christian community. And also our Christ-centered diversity commitment, how we express beautiful diversity within the body of Christ, pursuing Christian unity. Those commitments make Wheaton a very special place, a place we hope that God is calling you to join.
Welcome back to the start of the second half on an unusual Thursday night of college basketball. 28-15, Augustana leads Wheaton and Acadia. It was a rather interesting first half, so to speak. I'm not sure if that's the word to use. Augustana led it 26-8 at the end of the first quarter, but then the second quarter, really a lack of offense. Both teams only combining for 9 points.
Yeah, we're seeing very low scoring numbers and really aggressive ball play from both sides of the court. Now, in this second half, I think some of the changes that are going to need to be made is definitely having to do with pacing on the Wheaton side and continuing to take shots for Augustana.
I mean, Wheaton, they finished the first half on a 7-0 run, but that was nearly in 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Probably because Augustana, they were 1 of 13 in the second quarter.
In any game, you really do not want to be dependent on the other team's mistakes, and I think that is one thing we've seen for the Wheaton Thunder. Their possessions have largely come from turnovers, and recognizing the fact that you cannot continue to depend on the Augustana Vikings making those mistakes.
Another feed inside, and that one's blocked by Richardson, and another rejection, that time by Trumbach.
That was absolutely an incredible defense there by the Wheaton Thunder. Seeing them maintain that throughout this game is going to be something that can shift the momentum for them, as well as continuing to crash the paint and taking shots.
Vikings are now scoreless in nearly 9 minutes and 30 seconds if you include the first half. Babarowski, a little too strong though, and that one is a loose ball foul. I believe it's going to go against Augustana. Let's check the replay. They'll call the foul against Kaylee Papez. Once again, an opportunity for Wheaton to cut into this lead with the lack of offense from the Vikings. Richardson for three. Get back.
That is absolutely the shot you want to see from the Wheaton Thunder. We had Richardson with her hips squared to the basket, just able to completely drain that shot.
That is also Annika Richardson's first field goal of the ball game. Again, another miss. It's now a 10-0 run, by the way, for the Thunder in nearly 10 minutes.
We're seeing that momentum start up for the Thunder here, and if they can continue to play solid defense and make shots on the other end of the court, we're going to see that lead start to decrease for Augustana. Another beautiful three by Richardson.
And Katie, you mentioned some of these star players, Kate Oliver and Annika Richardson, needing to step up. It looks like Richardson is up to the task.
Absolutely, she has answered the call, and now we're going to see what Faborowski and Oliver can do, as well as Kaiser continuing from that first half.
That one is taken away inside by Paige Melton. Augustana, meanwhile, able to end their drought off of Audrey Erickson's field goal, breaking a drought where they didn't score in nearly 10 minutes.
A drought like that is absolutely devastating unless you have a lead quite like Augustana.
Another triple, that one's buried by Emma Berg, and all of a sudden Augustana's starting to heat up.
No, I think we're definitely seeing a reaction from Augustana to Wheaton's picking up of their pace as well as their momentum. It'll be interesting to see how they clash here in the second half.
That one is going to be pelted out of bounds. I believe they're going to get off of Kate Oliver because it's Augustana ball. As Lexi Hayes will check in for Audrey Erickson. Of course, Erickson, good production, 9 points for her alongside Emma Berg, who also has 9. Vikings up by 12.
One factor we haven't discussed much in this game is the depth of both teams' benches. We see on the Augustana Vikings side, they really use up to their 9th player in their common rotation. We're seeing a bit of that response from Wheaton as well.
Crowd wanted a foul against Annika Richardson. Rather in favor of Annika Richardson, be more specific. They thought she was contacted a little bit too hard. Melton back outside. It is Tatum, picked up by Kate Oliver. 10 on the shot clock. Candace Tatum unable to finish. Ball goes nearly out of bounds. It's saved, though, by Faborowski.
Having that rebound is absolutely essential. Turning over the ball there, maintaining possession for Augustana would have been detrimental to the Wheaton Thunder.
Inside again on the pick and roll to Richardson. Almost lost it. Richardson tries again. Annika Richardson. Another offensive rebound and another foul this time. They're going to call it in favor for Richardson.
And looking back at that play, you just see Richardson putting up an extreme fight in the paint. She is going up again and again, and when she is faced by as many players as she just was, the chances of drawing that foul go up.
Of course, Akeda, you had the pleasure of calling Annika Richardson's career-high setting performance against Elmhurst, 36 points. What do you like the most out of Annika Richardson?
You know, Annika Richardson is absolutely not afraid of taking that three-point shot. She steps up to that three-point line with a sheer confidence, and it is absolutely rewarded.
Of course, nice to see her brothers, Soren Richardson, as well as Kyle Neves, Nathan Clark, Cooper Starks, all in attendance. I believe that's also Jack Spears, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless, the men's team is here.
We love to see that community of Wheaton supporting each other.
And Tia Lewis, I believe they're going to get her for an illegal screen.
No, we're seeing contact with Tia Lewis there as Kate Oliver continues to track with Erickson.
That's now the 11th turnover for Augustana. Both teams have now turned it over 11 times. And this is now a 10-point deficit. Wheaton has not taken the lead yet. Pavarowski brims out though. And Lewis able to get the rebound. Martin trying to fight for it, but are they gonna call a foul or jump ball? Looks like a jump ball.
Seeing that tenacity from Martin is absolutely a key factor in this game. I've said it time and time again, but having that aggression and that willingness to go after a ball is going to be the extra little change that makes up the point difference.
Lewis picked up by Richardson. Tia Lewis tries to swing it to Augustana, but it's going to be out of bounds and likely going to stay with the Vikings. I believe they were trying to go to Emma Berg in the corner.
That was well defended on the Wheaton Thunder side of things. We just see Kaiser tapping that ball out of bounds.
Melton, contact there by Grace Kaiser. They're going to count it. And a chance at a three-point play for Paige Melton.
Looking back at that replay here, we see Kaiser stepping to Melton and just a bit of her feet moving on that attempted block there, and that's going to get called.
So that's now 9 points for Melton, who also with 4 rebounds. Chance to become the leading scorer with this free throw. And able to complete the three-point play. But Augustana, again, they were 1 of 13 in the second quarter. They're already 3 of 6 here in this third quarter.
Seeing Wheaton set a bit of a different pace here in this second half.
That was Alyssa Fabrowski thinking quick, able to score off that deflection. But what were you going to say again, Acadia?
Yeah, just looking at the pace here that Wheaton Thunder is forcing on Augustana, I think they've really stepped up here. They're getting the ball down the court faster, making greater opportunities of those turnovers and any mistake that Augustana is having.
So they're going to call the foul against Lily Caddo if you did not hear. The lead is cut to 11, 36-25, with 4:52 left to go. Acadia, what have you liked so far from both teams?
Man, coming back to that pace from the Wheaton Thunder, we've seen them step into the second half, willing to move the ball faster as well as drive into that paint. I think a very large factor for the Wheaton Thunder has been having Richardson back on the court, seeing her crash into that paint, make passes out when there's too much traffic. And then on the Augustana side of the ball, we're seeing them struggle a bit more in this second half. They're not able to maintain possession quite in the same way. We're seeing a couple of those turnover mistakes here and there that really do add up.
So far, there are 3 players who have 9 points for the Vikings. That's Erickson, Emma Berg, as well as Paige Melton. Meanwhile, for Wheaton, Annika Richardson, who did not score in the first half, all of a sudden has 8 points to start the second half.
Yes, we really do see Annika stepping up in the second half. And something that the Vikings have done well is having so many players with that many points. We're seeing that on the Augustana side of the ball, they're just willing to pass and very quickly finding those shot opportunities. We're going to see how Wheaton Thunder responds here in a moment.
Again, this matchup is crucial. It's a makeup from yesterday's matchup. Obviously postponed because of the winter storm. In fact, some of the CCIW teams, as we were talking about in the first half, had to play on Tuesday, which is not often what you see. You go from playing on Saturday to literally playing on Tuesday. Normally you play the Wednesday, Saturday slate. Because of the storm, I guess you can play on Tuesday. I did not know that.
It's funny to see weather affect an indoor sport quite like this.
Ensuing three, buried right there by Emma Berg. She now has 12 points, leading the Vikings.
Seeing how the Thunder responds here can set the tone for these next 4 minutes.
Alexis Martin almost lost the ball, and then instead they're going to call a foul against the Vikings.
No, Martin had 3 defenders on her right there, and the chances of a foul getting called when you have that many arms in one spot absolutely goes up.
Martin to trigger it for Wheaton. Cato for 3, able to hit.
A beautiful 3 by Cato. I feel like watching Lily Cato score that point, she really can be one of those players that starts to make a point total difference.
Interesting play right there. They immediately call a timeout. Still an 11-point game, as we talked about. Many people like to argue that the CCIW is an incredibly tough conference. I mean, look at the matchup right now. I know Wheaton, they're 5th in the CCIW. Augustana is technically second to last in 8th place, but these teams are only separated by about a game apart.
That absolutely adds into the level of intensity we're seeing here on the court. We have Wheaton down by 11 points, but they have not been giving up points the way they did in that first quarter.
Okay, the only 2 teams who have clinched bids into the CCIW tournament would be Illinois Wesleyan, as well as Carthage. The only 2 teams that have clinched a bid, and they're also the likely 2 teams that will get that first round bye. The only question is, who's going to host the CCIW tournament? Will it be Illinois Wesleyan in Bloomington, or will it be Carthage in Kenosha? Meanwhile, you have essentially 4 more spots up for grabs, and every other team other than North Park, who has still yet to win a CCIW game, is still alive for the CCIW tournament.
Absolutely. Again, coming back to the crucial nature of this game right here, watching Augustana and Wheaton duke it out.
Of course, the Vikings made it to the CCIW tournament last year. 7-9 in conference play a year ago, 13-14 overall. Another jump ball likely, and it will be. It'll be Thunder ball.
Well, that was a beautiful step in by Favorowski, really vying for that ball and winning a Wheaton possession.
Thunder 4 of 9 from the field in this third quarter. Augustana is 4 of 7 as well in quarter number 3. Favorowski for 3, drains it.
A beautiful 3 from Favorowski. Again, we're seeing just more shots taken by the Wheaton Thunder, and they're falling in their favor.
9 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, and 2 steals for Alyssa Favorowski. And right to the rack, Erickson finishes.
Now we're seeing Augustana respond to Wheaton's 3s with their own jump shots and layups.
Now put Audrey Erickson in double figures alongside Berger's Annika Richardson, 6 the triple.
Another beautiful 3 from Richardson. Augustana is going to have to worry about that if they do not continue to make their shots.
Lead once again cut down to 7. Thunder have now made 3 threes and another foul going against Wheaton.
We really saw those fouls and turnovers be a large part of that first half. And we've seen in this second half more and more shots being taken and more points being had.
Well, let's go back to that 3 ball right there by the Thunder.
Just a beautiful setting of those feet. A space for Alexis Martin made by Kaiser's run in, and then a pass out to Favorowski to drain it.
Five on the shot clock, by the way, for the Vikings. Berg puts it up. Emma Berg, too much sauce. Who has the rebound? It's Candace Tatum for the Vikings. Melton will now drive. Paige Melton inside. Pappas unable to hit. Ball still loose. Tatum trying to chase it, but cannot save it, and it will be Thunder ball.
That was some vicious defense right there by the Wheaton Thunder. Watching them really fight for these points. We're within 7.
Also with that, the Wheaton Thunder, they're on a 9-2 run in the last 2 minutes.
Seeing them sink those threes. We've talked about momentum time and time again, but watching it really come to life right here.
Joseph Fabrowski was being hounded right there by Erickson. Once again, that same matchup. Tatum almost tips it away. 10 on the shot clock for Kate Oliver, picked up by Smith. Richardson, one more pass. Grace Kaiser leaves it short though.
Now we see an excellent attempt there by Kaiser and just a lack of an offensive rebound by the Thunder.
Vikings outbounding the Thunder +6 in their favor in this game. Erickson unable to score, another rebound and likely another jump ball. This time it should be Vikings ball.
We're seeing both teams just again playing with more and more aggression as the game continues to go on.
Tatum to inbound it now. Pappas with it. Inside, unable to post up on Jenna Hunter. Oliver now with the rebound.
Seeing Pappas and Hunter go toe-to-toe in the paint is not a new story for this game.
Fabrowski, bank shot, able to score.
Another beautiful 3 from Fabrowski, and watching that momentum continue to swing in Wheaton's favor. This is, I believe, the closest the game has been since the first half ended.
And Alyssa Fabrowski had a career-high 18 points against North Park. She now has 12. Leading the team, 10 to shoot. Melton, guarded by Kaiser, 30 on 30. Melton too strong off the glass. Hunter with the rebound, and here comes Wheaton. Fast break, Richardson, oh, just off the fingertips. Turnover there for the Thunder.
No, that's an unfortunate turnover right there. That momentum for Wheaton Thunder, hopefully it is not fragile.
Under a minute now left to play. Augustana 5 of 12 from the field at 42%. Wheaton 7 of 13, 54% in quarter number 3.
Compared to that first half statistic, we have seen an absolutely beautiful second half played here by the Wheaton Thunder.
Once again to Tatum, somehow got the pass, and she draws the foul. Augustana fans like it, Wheaton does not.
Now we're seeing Erickson with the ball here, passing it into Tatum. Fabrowski reaching up for it, and Richardson coming in. A bit of contact there, but definitely a call that Wheaton is not in favor of.
So Candace Tatum only with 2 points so far, as Alexis Martin will check back in for Richardson. I mean, the leading scorers is Emma Bird as well as Audrey Erickson with 12 points and 11 points apiece.
Seeing Tatum have that first shot. We've seen her play an absolutely aggressive second half here.
And you can understand why Coach Madsen checked out Annika Richardson. It's because she has 4 personal fouls.
Yeah, once you get into that dangerous foul territory, you really have to start counting the minutes that you let your players continue to play. Watching Richardson foul out of this game would be a huge disappointment for Wheaton.
There's about a 3-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Lewis is really the only one in foul trouble for the Vikings. She has 3. Everyone else with 2 or less. Hunter posting up, and she draws the foul.
Now we really see Hunter taking it into the paint right there. You see her dribbling in and turning back out, and has 2 defenders on here and just enough to draw the foul.
Team foul number 5 against the Vikings, and Hunter the free throw line. 1.5 rebounds and 2 assists, no assists rather, are her stats so far in this ball game. Hunter knocks down the second free throw. Lead is now cut down to 5.
This has been an absolutely exceptional run by the Wheaton Thunder. Their defense has continued to step up as this third quarter expires.
Tatum, guarded by Fabrowski, rejects the screen. Outside, a corner three. Air ball, though, and a rebound and a finish there by Erickson. Thunder are not going to get the shot off to end the third quarter. Vikings are leading at 45-38 entering the fourth quarter. Of course, we talked about this. The Vikings led by as many as 21 points. But it seems like the Thunder, they've been pulling those punches, trying to fight back into this ballgame. Of course, a lot of highlights to go through. And let's start off going back, I believe that three-pointer there by Alyssa Fabrowski.
Now that's just a beautiful three by Fabrowski. She started off the last game against Augustana with a similar three, and here we see Richardson just square up to the basket and nail a three. Those threes have been essential in making up that point differential. Here we have another one from Fabrowski, again, just hip square and a bank shot straight into the net.
Fabrowski leading the way, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. But let's give credit to the Vikings right now. They're up 45-30 for a reason. A lot of players stepping up. Of course, one of those players, being Audrey Erickson.
Erickson has had an exceptional game, and we saw right there on that last run, the missed shot with the follow-up and a layup for Erickson. It's those types of things that really start to set a player apart. Their ability to see the ball game and their willingness to go run after those extra few points.
Of course, Emma Berg not too far behind. She has 12 points. Paige Melton, she has 9. Really good distribution of scoring by Augustana in this ballgame.
I completely agree. That has been a major factor for Augustana. When you have that many players that are a threat, Wheaton's defense is going to be stretched thinner and thinner, and they have a lot more to contend with.
Of course, this game important. Only one game back is the Vikings from 5th place, which is where Wheaton's at. And it looks like a foul inside, going to go against Pepes. Haley Pepes called for the foul.
See Fabrowski get the ball in there.
Oliver inside, guarded by Tatum, picks up 2. Fabrowski will fire, drains the mid-range J.
A beautiful jump shot there from Fabrowski. Now, as exciting as threes are, those jump shots are absolutely crucial. Not easy, but they start to make up that point differential just as the threes do.
And Katie, we talked about this in the third quarter. Annika Richardson's not playing so far because of the 4 fouls. What do you think the Thunder are going to do to adjust?
I think Coach Madsen is really going to be very calculating on when he sticks Richardson back in the game. I do see her coming back in with probably within the next 5 minutes, just making a couple more threes for the Wheaton Thunder and continuing with that momentum.
Erickson missed her field goal for the Vikings. Again, still a 5-point game. Right now you have Kaiser, Hunter, Fabrowski, Martin, and Oliver on the floor for Wheaton. Hunter in the low post picks up 2. Back out to Kaiser. 6 on the shot clock. Fabrowski, another mid-range J. Too much sauce, though.
We've seen some beautiful passing here from the Wheaton Thunder, but the follow-through seems to be lacking. Not a ton of offensive rebounds.
Ball is loose, and it looks like a steal, though, for Kaiser. And again, it's on the ground. Fabrowski as well as Berg fighting for it. They're called a jump ball.
We see a lot of contact on that play right there.
And it looks like Emma Berg still on the ground, but able to get up on her own power. But as our PA announcer said, it is still Vikings ball, albeit 14 seconds on the shot clock.
Now, as this game continues to wear on, we're going to see more and more physical plays like that.
Lewis picked up by Hunter. Big on big. Now 7 on the shot clock. Berg will fire. Emma Berg sprays a 3-pointer.
That's an absolutely beautiful 3. And seeing here how the Thunder respond with 8 minutes left to go in this fourth quarter.
Annika Richardson looking to check in at the next dead ball opportunity. Meanwhile, Berg, she has 15 points, which leads the team. And Kaiser, they're going to get her for a travel.
Those are really the turnovers that are going to end up being costly here. With Augustana having just made that 3, the momentum can start to shift.
That's now 13 turnovers for Wheaton. Both teams somewhat identical in the turnovers. Augustana only has 12. And Faborowski trying to play some defense on Tatum, but they're going to give the ball to the Thunder. Didn't exactly see what it was.
I'm seeing a lack of contact on that, but Wheaton has possession.
Might have been an offensive foul definitely an offensive foul against the Vikings, just could not tell what it was. Perhaps a moving screen or not. Hunter inside, off her hands, and it's going to be Vikings ball.
See, and those are essential passes here for the Wheaton Thunder.
48-40. Vikings still up by 8. Wheaton has never taken the lead in this ball game, as the Thunder trailed it by as many as 21 points. Berg fires, won't go. Kaiser with the rebound.
Having those rebounds and maintaining possession is going to absolutely figure out how these last 7 minutes pan out.
Richardson for 3. Rims it out though, and Jenna Hunter still able to get the rebound. Hunter, nice mid-range J.
Again, that follow through, finding those shots when they bounce out, being in the paint, being ready to have those 2 points, put it back up there. Excellent job by Hunter.
4 points, 5 rebounds for Jenna Hunter. First field goal technically for her. There's a clean block right there by Kate Oliver.
Well done by Oliver there, getting possession back for the Thunder. Well defended.
Cleans up Audrey Erickson. There's another block. Erickson responds. Her shot got blocked, and then she blocks it right back. Tatum speeds up, and she's fouled.
And that is a foul. It's gonna go on Kaiser. For a moment there, it seems like Richardson could have fouled out. That's definitely not a position the Thunder want to find themselves in.
Kaylee Papez is back in for the Vikings. Basically her as well as Tia Lewis check in and out to make sure there's at least some sort of forward on the floor for the Vikings.
Yep. Having that height, having that presence split between Papez and Lewis absolutely contributes to a lot of the contested shots that we're seeing the Thunder take in the paint.
Tatum able to knock down the second free throw. Vikings lead is back up to 8. Oliver picked up by Candace Tatum. And Cato airballs a 3 though. Hunter can't save it though. It's going to be Vikings ball.
Watching Hunter have that hustle hopefully is not too little too late.
Gonna win here for the Vikings. Keeps their hopes alive for a CCIW tournament bid. Wheaton has not clinched a bid. They're looking to solidify it even more. Their spot in the tournament. Another triple attempt. Another one off the mark. Ball still on the ground. Where are they going to rule it? It looks like it's going to be Thunder ball. That miss there from Emma Berg.
We can see Wheaton slowing down a bit here as that clock continues to run down. Coming into this fourth quarter, we saw a brilliant pace.
Hunter unable to connect though.
That pace is definitely slowed as Augustana has continued to wore down Thunder's defense as well as contest their offense.
They're trying to go inside of Papez, instead it's taken away. And here comes Richardson trying to go to Cato.
You see some excellent ball movement here, continuing to try to find that shot.
And Faborowski leaves it well short though.
I think we see the Wheaton Thunder settling for worse shots here as Augustana continues to step up their defense.
Wheaton is now 1 out of their last 7 turns of field goals. They have not scored in 2 minutes.
That dry spell for the Thunder here is absolutely a factor.
8 on the shot clock. Vikings trying to waste clock as well. Here is Tatum with 4 to shoot. Candace Tatum misses though.
Seeing Hunter pull down that shot and Oliver drive it.
Oliver, and they're going to call an offensive foul though.
Looking back at that replay, we see Kate Oliver hustling down that field, but we have, I believe that's Milton with her feet set, and Oliver just pushes through.
So 4:27 now left to go, 50-42, and you were talking about shot selection. If you are the Thunder, I'm assuming you're not being strategic per se. Are you going for a high percentage look? What's the strategy here?
I think any and all shots that the Thunder can take, as well as following up for that offensive rebound, that's really where the Wheaton Thunder can start to find a difference. They were making those threes earlier in this quarter. That seems to have gone a bit dry. Continuing to crash the paint, drawing the foul if possible. Points are points.
Now, meanwhile, for the Vikings, you're up by 8. What must they do in order to prevail and win this game?
They're going to need to continue limiting the number of turnovers they have, not fouling as much as they can, and continuing to crash the paint.
To kind of give a bit of a game reset, both teams with 3 timeouts, both teams also with 2 fouls in this quarter. Annika Richardson still the only one out of anyone in foul trouble. She has 4. And then you have Grace Kaiser, Lewis, and Pappas each with 3 fouls apiece. But for the Thunder, I mean, I guess for both teams, in some ways the fourth quarter is reminiscent of the second quarter, as both teams have only combined to make 3 field goals in this quarter. Kind of like the second quarter where both teams also combined to make 3 field goals.
In this game, it seems to be a lot of very high number of point total runs, followed by several dry spells. And that's a really curious pattern to see between these two teams.
Kind of going off of that, we've not scored in the last 2 minutes and 36 seconds. Vikings have not scored in the last 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Papez guarded tightly by 2, able to score though.
Being able to split that defense right there, Papez really found a beautiful shot.
5 points, 4 rebounds now for her. Oliver is going to take a mid-range J and sinks it.
That's a beautiful and difficult shot taken there by Kate Oliver. She did not have a defender in her face, which is what enabled her to do so.
Lead is back down to 8. Erickson picked up by Kate Oliver. 14 on the shot clock. They were trying to get it inside to Papez. Erickson thought about a step back 3. Erickson, that should be a travel. It is.
Well defended there by Wheaton. Watching them continue to challenge Augustana, and Augustana really a decent pace, more similar to their first quarter right there, but Wheaton's rising to the challenge and not letting them get a shot off.
Favorowski with the ball. She has 14 points in this ball game. Not too far from tying her career high when she did it against North Park. Favorowski for 3, you bet.
Another beautiful 3 for Favorowski, not getting tired of saying that statement as we see the Wheaton Thunder shorten that lead to 5.
So now Alyssa Favorowski, she has 17 points, 1 point away from tying her career high when she had 18 points against North Park not too long ago. Now what's the strategy for Wheaton to further climb back into this game?
Wheaton's going to need some more of those 3s, and watching Annika Richardson there with Favorowski, some excellent passing, making space, opening up. Really, that's going to need to continue to happen, both between Favorowski as well as Richardson, and incorporating more of their players.
And meanwhile, for the Vikings, again, what can they do to sort of hang on to this lead? Sort of the same thing that you said earlier?
I think so. Just a reiteration of continuing to play with the grit that we saw in that first half. We see Berg, Milton, Papez, Erickson, and Tatum all taking to the court, continuing to be aggressive, going after those balls and following their shots.
For Wheaton, they'll be playing at Carthage this Saturday at Torbo Arena. Matchup with the second best team in the CCIW, and then 2 straight home games to finish off this season. One against Milken, and then another one, their final game, against North Central. Smith guarded by Lily Cato.
We're seeing some high pressure here from the Wheaton Thunder.
Audrey Erickson against Kate Oliver. Too much sauce, though. And Cato gets the rebound, being hounded there. But the Thunder are going to get this one across the timeline. Oliver, and they're going to call a blocking foul now against Dolly Smith.
Maintaining possession there for the Thunder. We look back at this replay. We see Oliver starting to drive that ball in, and number 2 just continues to get into her way.
3rd team foul against the Vikings here in this quarter. Thunder, meanwhile, have fouled the Vikings only twice. Fabrowski again. In and out. That would have set a new career high in points, as well as cut the lead to 2 if she made it.
Fabrowski absolutely showing that she is hungry for it. Her teammates also stepping up into that in a more defensive role. If we can see them answer the same way on offense.
Shot in and out, though, also for Erickson. Richardson, ball on the ground. Now a jump ball likely, and it is. It's going to stay with Wheaton, though.
Seeing that ball stay here with Wheaton. You see Annika Richardson really fighting for it, as well as Papez hopping onto that jump ball.
Under 2 minutes now left to play. Wheaton still down by 5. Fabrowski sinks the triple. That's now a new career high for Alyssa Fabrowski, but more importantly, cuts the lead to 2.
To say Fabrowski wants this game would be an understatement.
And Coach Beinborn is going to take a timeout. A minute 48 left to go. And Katie, you talked about we needed a much-needed 3. They get it from Alyssa Fabrowski.
It's a beautiful game from Fabrowski. We're really seeing her grit come out here in these last few minutes with back-to-back 3s. For Augustana to respond in these last few minutes, we're going to need to see them shut down Fabrowski, and within that, Wheaton has an opportunity to draw the attention back to Fabrowski and really potentially open up some other shots for Kaiser as well as Richardson.
Career high 20 points for Alyssa Fabrowski, breaking her previous career high of 18 points. And we mentioned this before. Alyssa Fabrowski, she has stepped up big time her junior year, taking on that starting role for the Thunder.
Absolutely. Watching her step onto this court and make shots is a beautiful thing that we look forward to continuing to see from her.
And something that I talked with Coach Masson, of course, this was quite a while ago, but he mentioned how Alyssa Fabrowski, she has the leadership as well as the ability to play for general. That's stuff that you cannot mention in sets.
Absolutely. Those things that miss the score sheet that really come down to the character of the players on the court. That audio level inside the stadium is picking up here as the Wheaton Thunder continue to play defense.
Apez able to finish, leads back up to 2 possessions. Acadia, if you are Wheaton, I'm assuming, are you going for a 2 or are you going for a 3?
I am taking whatever shot I can get and drawing the foul if I can.
Well, we'll send Kate Oliver to the free throw line. Let's check the replay again.
Now we see her driving and just making that contact with Melton there, enough to draw the foul and send her to that free throw line.
So Kate Oliver, 4 points, 5 rebounds, an assist, and 3 steals. As the lead is cut down to 3.
Seeing the lead get this close for Augustana has to be worrisome. This is a 1-possession game.
Under 75 seconds to play. 54-52, Vikings lead it by 2. Tatum inside again, and another finish. That time, believe it was Erickson yet again.
Now we're seeing Erickson really step up in those difficult shots. She seems to find herself open rather consistently, especially when you have several Wheaton defenders crashing on the obvious.
They're going to call that a clean block. Wheaton still has possession with 16 on the shot clock. Well, how about this? Erickson, Berg leading the Vikings, each with 15 points apiece.
No, this possession right here is absolutely crucial for the Wheaton Thunder.
Richardson guarded by Tatum. Kaiser now to Oliver. Able to knock it in.
A beautiful three by Oliver. She's been a bit quiet tonight in regards to being beyond that three-point line, but getting her started here has put the game within 1 point.
9 points, 5 rebounds and assists, 3 blocks, rather 3 steals and a block. Let's go back to the replay.
You see, this is just beautiful passing from Kaiser to Kate Oliver, and she simply squares her feet again and makes that three-point basket.
Now, it's a little bit interesting. 25 seconds left. Wheaton does have a timeout. If you are the Thunder, when do you consider fouling?
That is a hard question. If you can get in here and make a basket almost immediately, I think you can start looking to foul as soon as you have that lead, but not a second beforehand.
And meanwhile, if you're the Vikings, what's the strategy here with about 34 seconds to go?
Maintain that ball possession. I'm giving it to Erickson. She is driving it in that line, drawing a foul if she can, and making those 2 points.
Again, Erickson and Berg each with 15 points apiece. If you've just tuned in, Alyssa Faborowski has a new career high with 20 points. At one point, Wheaton trailed it by as many as 21 points. And the second quarter was a bit of a blur, but I mean, the second half has been so much fun. And it's such an important matchup as we keep stressing these teams are only a game back despite Wheaton being 5th in the CCIW and Augustana being second to last in the conference. And of course, for the Vikings would love to make some noise and potentially sneak their way back into the CCIW tournament.
Watching these last few seconds, we anticipate a lot of physicality here.
So Wheaton's not going to foul there and let it play. There's about a 11 second differential between shot clock and game clock. Erickson has, as you said, Acadia. Picked up by Kate Oliver trying to get a screen. Now they switch with Annika Richardson. 7 on the shot clock. Erickson dumps it off inside and the finish right there by Pappas. And there's going to be a timeout taken by Coach Matson. 11.4 seconds left to go. Now if you're Wheaton, is it a 3, is it a 2? What's the strategy?
Get it down the court as quickly as possible. I'm giving it to Annika Richardson. I am hoping that she can find that three-point shot. Granted, the chances of Augustana leaving her open are absolutely minuscule because they recognize the absolute beautiful shot that Richardson does have.
Now I know Dan Hurley of UConn is probably famous for this, but Augustana could technically foul Wheaton and prevent them from taking a 3. If you are Coach Beinborn, do you consider doing that or just let them play?
I'm going to let it play out for these last 12 seconds. They have had a solid defense through most of this game. We've seen the Thunder really taking those three-point shots and taking their time, which is what they don't have within these last few moments.
Wheaton 6-6 in the CCIW, Augustana 5-8. Much needed win for both teams if they can pull this off. Of course, for Wheaton trying to stay in that race, as right now, again, Milliken, Carthage, Carroll, and Illinois Wesleyan are the teams above. But I mean, Milliken is only at 7-6 themselves. And right now, they would be in 4th place, but also Wheaton trying to sweep Augustana as they were able to pick up a win at Rock Island, as you mentioned. For the Vikings trying to split, get back into the CCIW race. See what Coach Beinborn and Coach Madsen employ here. Both teams with a timeout left. Vikings at 14 fouls. Oliver has it. Uses the screen. 6 to shoot. Oliver for the tie. Airballs it instead. And Augustana, did they foul in time or not? Augustana is cheering as if they did. Wonder if they're going to put some time left. But the shot from Oliver missed. And a chance to tie the ball game. The referees are discussing whether there's enough time left, but regardless, that's now the 3rd foul. So they're going to put 0.4 seconds left. Wheaton's going to have to foul, I think, 2 more times for it to get into the bonus. Just a simple inbound here from the Vikings can finish it. And that will be it. Vikings hang on to the Thunder comeback, get a much-needed win here at Kingerin, a 58-55 is your final. And Acadia, what are your final thoughts on this ball game?
You know, there was an absolute clash on this game. I think both teams really recognized the weight and the gravity of this game in regards to those CCIW standings, and we definitely saw that demonstrated here tonight on this court.
Erickson and Berg leading the way with 15 points. Vavrowska again, 20 points for her, a career high. Augustana improves to 10-13, 6-8 in CCIW play. Meanwhile, Wheaton, they drop to 11-11, 6-7 in conference play. Well, alongside Acadia Fitzpatrick, I'm Aiden Cox, signing off on the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network.